Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
In the dark. He was bored in the dark. Jordan's camera's not working right now, so we don't get to see him today, but that's okay. We're gonna rally on anyway.
Just don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. That's what we're doing.
We usually
We're
don't.
not paying attention.
AI. I typed in my script, and I hope it goes according to plan. Jordan's asleep in his bed.
We're getting into fall, we're getting back into school, and we love us a 90s movie. So we figured, you know what? Why not do the 1999 film, Varsity Blues? In West Canaan, Texas, high school football reigns supreme. When starting quarterback Lance Harbor turns up injured, the Coyotes' ruthless Bud Kilmer must promote benchwarmer Jonathon Moxon to lead the team in its quest for the division title. Suddenly thrown in the spotlight, Mox must deal with the pressure of carrying the aspirations of the entire town on his shoulders as he struggles to pursue his very own dreams. Will Mox be able to protect his teammates from the monstrous coach and remain true to himself in a town that treats him as a god? James Vanderbeek, Varsity Blues.
Starring James Vanderbeek, John Voight, Paul Walker, Scott Kahn, Ron Lester, Amy Smart, and Allie Larder.
It's got big jeans and bigger jeans.
It's a teen movie with football. It's American Pie with football, no?
It's your 90s teen raunchy movie. This one centered about football.
It's got a really bad Vanderbeek accent.
It's got an unnecessarily aggressive accent.
Varsity Blues.
Cast and crew. Let's start with the director, Brian Robbins. Directed The Shaggy Dog.
Okay.
Norbit.
Okay.
Hardball with Keanu.
Kids movies.
Honestly, one of my faves.
Go back and listen to our. Did we do Hardball?
I'm not sure.
I think we did.
No, we definitely haven't. Unless that it could be without me because
Mark loves that movie. I feel like I'd remember him talking about it.
Did I do a solo Hardball?
Jordan just riffed off of Hardball for like 2 hours.
Good movie.
And Good Burger.
Oh, okay. Is he doing the sequel?
Has there been
They're
one?
making one right now.
They've definitely talked about.
I'm pretty sure I've seen stuff online that they're doing it.
He also was a writer on All of That. Cousin Skeeter, if you remember that one.
I do. It was a Nick show with the puppet. I love that show.
Yeah. I love that show for some reason.
I actually feel like I watched it a decent much. I might have piggybacked off Cameron. I might have been a little too old, but I'm like,
it was kind of fun. It introduced us to Megan Good, I believe. Me, at least.
Oh, really? That I don't remember.
Also wrote on Big Fat Liar with Frankie Muniz and Amanda Bynes. Remember that movie?
Vaguely, yeah.
I don't remember it at all, but I remember like
in theory, but I never saw it.
Yeah, I remember the poster, and I think, well, not what it was about, but just a preview.
So that's who Brian Robbins is. Onto the cast.
He ruled the kids' movies in the 90s.
Oh, yeah, and then moved from Nick, clearly, to MTV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think they're all owned by the same company, though, right?
That seems probably right.
Yeah, it's all on Paramount Plus.
James Vanderbeek plays Moxon.
I mean, obviously his.
I never watched
Dawson's
Creek.
Dawson's Creek. I mean,
it's Dawson's Creek first and foremost, but this is probably second.
What is that like?
This is a close second.
A Midwestern OC. Like, what is Dawson's Creek?
You know, it's a teenage drama. It's like
where's the location though? I guess is it by a creek.
Dawson's Creek.
Dawson's Creek.
It's the East Coast. I feel like it's an East Coast people, but I could be wrong.
Okay.
Do you guys? You might random thing. Do you remember a few years back before the Power Rangers movie got made, the live action? Like James Vanderbeek was part of a fan made like concept Power Rangers movie, but it was super dark, and it was just like a 15-minute short.
Oh, it was just like a teaser.
The short was awesome. I do remember the short. That was him though.
Yeah, James Vanderbeek was a part of that randomly.
That never turned into anything. We were just super excited about it.
No, because I remember the Power Rangers franchise like responded and said this is too dark because we're like a kids thing, but that was great. Is essentially their response.
They didn't give us Vanderbeek, and it wasn't
Cape
dark
Side,
enough.
Massachusetts.
Cape Side,
Massachusetts. I bet if we rewatch now, I'd have a lot of nostalgia for a show that in time I probably made fun of.
Okay, on to Coach Kilmer, played by Jon Voight.
Go back and see our Anaconda, Enemy
If you're
of the
playing at home, this
State,
is our third.
National
right?
Treasure.
Who was our fourth?
That's all I got.
And our future Deliverance.
Oh, no. 4 Christmases as well. This is our fifth Jon Voight movie.
He's been up there quite a bit.
Jesus,
He does a lot of movies.
He might
He's
be
in
the most.
Okay.
He's dead in 4 Christmases.
Mo-
Stay tuned for what Jon Voight movie can we do next? Will we do next?
Star
Probably missed
quarterback.
at least 2 that he's in.
Star quarterback Lance Harbor, played by Paul Walker. R.I.P.
Pleasantville.
Go back and listen to Pleasantville.
Yeah, randomly just thinking about that the other day. Just, I mean, of course, Fast and the Furious.
I guess stay tuned for one of the Fast and Furious. I don't
Or
know
8
which
Below.
one you
We'll get
guys
to
are.
8 Below.
Probably-
Yeah, I could see us
8
getting
Below.
to that. I mean, obviously, the first Fast and the Furious, the franchise maker.
Got my first handy to 8 Below. Moving on to Ron Lester, played Billy Bob.
I don't know him as anything other than Billy Bob. Do you
Also
have
in
anything on his
Cousin
IMDb?
Skeeter and Good Burger.
Oh,
Friend
did
of the
not know that.
family.
Okay.
Friend of the family.
I do believe he makes like a cameo, like a kind of same character cameo in Not Another Teen Movie, right?
He plays
As the
Billy
Bob
Bob
type.
Yeah. I
Oh, really?
believe he's passed away, though. Yeah, he passed
yeah,
away
R.I.P.
in
I do
2016.
believe he passed away. Mm-hmm.
Tweeter, played by Scott Conn. We've done Oceans, no?
I don't think so.
But we've definitely done
We've
something
done a
with Scott
Scott Conn
Conn, or at
movie.
least I've been I've also just been recasting him a shit
That
ton,
may be
so
it.
it might just be that. I don't know.
I think somebody just recast him the last movie we did.
I
'cause
did.
It was a tough role.
And I think
Yeah,
the 2
so-
movies before that, too. But obviously the Ocean series.
Entourage. I liked him in Entourage.
Mhm.
He's
Yeah,
like,
he had like the last few
he kind of
seasons.
like goes up against E, right? He's kind of like the rival.
Oh, he's the other short.
Yeah, they're
manager.
rivals, and then
Yeah,
they
the
become
other shorts.
partners in
Yeah.
his management group.
Again,
they are short. He's
I
very
think we say
short.
this every time, but of course, son of James Caan.
Paul Walker plays Lance Harbor in the movie. So Julie Harbor, the sister, is played by Amy Smart.
We've definitely done something with it.
Just friends, I think, for a Christmas.
Just
Oh,
friends.
just
a
friends.
Christmas
Yeah, go back.
roundabout.
I mean,
yeah.
hang around till Christmas, but then go back and watch that.
This is right in the wheelhouse of when I got to know her. She's in Road Trip.
Rat
right?
Race.
Rat Race, Road
Road
Trip.
Trip as well, though, right?
No, it might be Michelle.
Nah, I'm
whatever.
pretty sure. I'm positive. Check it out.
Possibly
Let us know in the
also,
comments.
though, Starship Troopers. Go back and see our episode of that. I believe she's in that for a little bit.
Crank. Moving on finally to Ali Larder, plays Darcy.
For some reason, the first thing that comes to mind, other than like Heroes, is Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back.
Oh no, it's
She's
Final
like-
Destination. That's like her.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
like her
it's- I
main
mean,
gig.
It's that too, but for some reason, that's the first thing that popped in my head. But I mean, Heroes. Let's see what else. She's been in a ton of things. I don't have it open in front of me, but she's listed kind of low on.
I feel like it. I feel like if
IMDb for
you
the cast.
go to Google, it's like most known for Final Destination. Maybe this
Yep.
next.
Oh, Resident Evil. Yeah, she did get in that series. Legally
We're
Blonde.
definitely in her wheelhouse right now.
And then there's a random sneaky Jesse Plemons for like literally like a half a second, which is kind of funny.
Megan showed me that, and I completely.
why-
I
why-
mean, you didn't notice it though, right?
I
You didn't see
totally
the kid.
did. Yeah, I did.
Oh, really?
Well, because I guess maybe I was looking for. I do casting crew before the movie.
Let's move it on to Unverified. Welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. It's January 15th, 1999, and currently in theaters you could have seen The Blair Witch Project.
I did.
No,
lot.
in theaters you did?
I saw it in theaters. Did you come with us, Cam?
No, it was too scary for me. I went and saw something else. We'll try to find out what it was in this list because I don't know what it could have been.
It was a big deal. I convinced Mom to take me, a bunch of my friends, down to CR and watch Blair Witch. 2 people bounced out and saw Bowfinger because they were like, I can't do it. It's too scary.
I
I'm like,
I
"Fuck,
rented
why'd you
Blair
come?"
Witch at the movie gallery in whatever 2000, and we put it in, and we were scared by the
Yeah,
whatever the title screen, and then we just shut it off.
I don't think people remember this. We lived through it. It was such an event.
It was an
Behind
event.
you, you're like, you gotta see this scariest
The
movie
marketing
ever.
promotion was just crazy behind it. SLC Punk.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
That's with from Scream. What's his
Yeah.
face?
Matthew, no,
Lillard. Lillard. That's
got there in the
say.
end.
5 times fast.
Jawbreaker.
That's probably a cult classic.
Yeah, it might be actually. I didn't think it came out like this close to it, but She's All That.
Oh, I would have thought She's All That was 98.
Yeah, I would have thought a little sooner as well.
Well, you're in January, so you're close.
That's true. That's true.
This is made for TV movie, but Xenon Girl, the 21st Century.
Nice. Okay.
This January. The Boondock Saints. Go back and see our episode
Go
of the Boondock
back and
Saints.
listen to our Boondock Saints.
Or wait probably till, St. Patrick's Day, but Children of Heaven. But you chose
If you had children in heaven.
Varsity Blues. I don't know what else I saw when you were seeing the Blair Witch, because nothing out there streamed.
The dividends for that movie had to have been large, right?
Oh, great.
Yeah,
the way they
I
shot
think
it.
it's like all time.
They were day by day making plans and scaring people in a tent. Yeah.
That's fucking sweet.
I think it was like a
That's so
budget
sick.
of like 10,000 or something stupid like that, and made
This
like
may be
100.
stupid. One of my favorite scary movies. It is.
Is it?
You love
it is. I love it.
Jordan, do you have the box office for this? And then can you find me the box office for Blair Witch?
Okay, well, I'll start with this because I did have this prepared because we are still doing Varsity Blues, right?
Sure are.
We're not jumping to Blair Witch.
Hold on. Yeah, let's pivot. Let's pivot.
Because I mean, I'll have to get my Blair Witch notes, but yeah, we can pivot if you need to.
Also, you hear like paper shuffling.
Blair Witch, $16 million
Okay.
budget. $54 million at the box office, which is
Not.
I know, but it's still a pretty big profit margin.
It's a teen movie, like
and
not
for
a huge
a
budget.
January release,
doubled it.
January release.
Yeah, that's not bad for like a teen movie.
Don't you wish that every movie was released seasonally be when it should be? Like this should be a fall release. It just should because it takes place. Anyway,
Just doesn't make sense. You got to release shit when you can.
You thought
I
it was a
guess.
sneeze, but it turns out it's a shit in your pants.
so this is Trickle Up. So spoiler alert from we actually do the Blair Witch, but it was a $200,000 estimated to $750,000 budget.
Okay, well that's a pretty
Made a
big.
cool
Wait, 200,000 to
That's a big
700,000. That's a big.
that's
jump.
half a million
I'd always
dollar
heard
gap.
this is Wikipedia again,
Sure.
and I didn't have my Blair Witch notes ready,
Gotcha.
but here we go. $200,000, $248 million at the
That's
box
pretty
office.
good.
And I heard that the actors, whatever, we'll talk about
We'll get
Blair
to
Witch
that
when
when
we
we
talk
get to
about it. But they got paid like $10.
This is one fact I remember hearing at the time, even though I hadn't seen it as a kid. But in the scene where Darcy, Ali Lauder, puts on the whipped cream bikini, it was actually shaving cream because whipped cream will just melt and it will not stick like that.
I think anytime you see something like that,
yeah, it's shaving cream.
What do we think of Barbasol?
I'd hope.
Yeah, it's the only type we know.
Yeah, I can't list any of that.
Gillette gel.
Gillette,
Oh.
yeah. Ali Larder was friends and is still friends with Amy Smart, supposedly. And it was Ali Larder's film debut.
Oh, I thought it might be.
Who wants to guess the age on how old Billy Bob was when they filmed this?
I know it, so I can't.
28?
Yeah.
28?
Ding, 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 ding.
You
nailed
knew it.
No, swear to God, this is just a guess.
Although he's supposed to be playing 18 at the time, Billy Bob, Ron Lester was 28 years old. And what's crazier is that they wanted to make a spin-off series specifically following Billy Bob hit like another senior year, but they filmed a pilot episode and it just didn't get picked up. Featuring him, he came back.
I mean, I could see a TV show of this working, but it
It's
would have
called
been
Friday Night
network and
Lights.
just
Yeah, it would have worked.
It's not, because that's not a comedy. This is sort of comedic.
True.
And it's just different. It's actually probably closer to your guys' TV show that
Blue
you watch,
Mountain
Blue Garden
State.
State.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Blue Mountain State. I bet it's way closer to that.
But that's still college. Cameron, do you remember the show RJ Burger?
yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, for MTV's RJ Burger. Oh, any teen thing, you're going to have a bordering,
Like
if not
the guys in the
30-year-old.
locker room with like these 6-packs and mustaches and like pecs that go on for days. It's crazy.
Just fully grown men, not kids.
fully men.
Still, nobody's as old as Gary Bertier. That guy really is like 35.
I don't think so.
He was pretty, I don't know.
Oh, buddy.
He was 35. Get out of here.
He didn't get carded to rent a car in high school. You know what I mean? Like, he was a full-blown
Well,
adult.
and that met his demise.
That's true, yeah,
You might
yeah.
have thought during the movie, well, those announcers are kind of on the nose and maybe a little mean. That's because those weren't actors. They were real high school announcers in Texas.
High school. And
You know, I did write a note. They seem pretty accurate to like small town high school football shit.
And not only that, they're notable for the greatest high school comeback ever between Plano East and John Tyler in 1994. Those two people called it.
Really?
I guess so.
That's a great find. I did not see that anywhere at all.
That might be close to some of our best unverified.
They weren't wearing they weren't unbiased for sure.
Just announcers.
Just announcers.
I will say the small town hat game in this movie is pretty accurate too.
Yeah.
It's like, what brand do you work for?
Yeah. Exxon.
Yeah.
Aleel Swinton, who plays Wendell Brown in the film, was a top high school football prospect before playing college ball at Stanford. This is the guy who was like, I have like 130 yards a game, 3 touchdowns all year. He was the team captain his senior year and starting strong safety. He signed with the Kansas City Chiefs as a free agent, but his career was short-lived. He ended up staying in California and working as a production assistant before getting cast as the running back in this movie.
Oh, crazy.
So, he's a legit football player.
Huh.
Yep.
That's cool.
Good actor, fine actor.
I had to dig for that one, but that was a fun one.
No worse than Billy Bob at acting.
No worse.
I feel like
The University of Toronto trademarked the name Varsity Blues for its sports teams in the mid-1980s, and U of T complained because the movie presented sports in a negative light, and they sued Paramount Pictures, and they ended up settling for an undisclosed amount, and they ended up paying 8 scholarships with that suing money.
Wow. Kind of along that same line, Lester, Billy Bob.
Mm-hmm.
The studio got calls from Vanderbeek's representation that Billy Bob Lester was stealing the movie from Vanderbeek. So they kind of there's some back and forth like hey, hold on.
Later. I have
Billy
notes
Bob,
on that.
Let him back up, Billy Bob.
Do you guys want to hear a crazy one? Kind of.
yeah, that's what we're here for.
2 principal cast members have died since the movie's release.
Oh yeah, that's my last
Paul
one.
Walker and Ron Lester, Billy Bob. But additionally, Joe Pitchler, who plays, I believe, Mox's younger brother, has
he's just he's very spiritual.
He's been missing since January 5th, 2006.
What?
Joe Pitchler was last seen by a friend at approximately 4:15 a.m. on January 5th, 2006, in Bremerton, Washington. He had spent the evening playing cards with some close friends. Everyone who saw him described him as in a very good mood that evening. They say he'd not shown any signs of distress or depression. And then on January 9th, he was reported missing after his silver 2005 Toyota Corolla was found abandoned behind a restaurant called Taqueria Las Cazadores, that split between 2 lines there. Sorry, located at. We don't need to dox this place.
Located at. They've got great tacos.
In his car, they found 2 pages of writing that authorities believed was a suicide note, but he has not been seen since.
Oh,
has not been seen
if you
since.
have any information
If
about
you
his
have any
whereabouts-
information on Joe.
I think that's the biggest, craziest unverified we've almost had on a pod.
A true crime.
That's crazy.
Yeah. At what point are you, if you're Vanderbeek, you're like, geez, this is getting a little
It's
too
getting a little
real.
cursy.
Like,
yeah.
This is getting pretty cursy.
Well,
I can tell you one person that wasn't worried at all, and that's Mr. Voight. He's like, come at me, Curse. I'll come right back at you. You don't want nothing to do with me, Curse.
If you want a little inspiration, the screenplay sat around for 16 years before it entered production.
I think it found itself at the right time, if you're asking me.
Yeah,
I think
I
so.
could've worked in the 80s.
Late 90s. I think that works.
Any 80s to 80s, 90s, it was fine.
Yeah, but,
I guess it
like
could've
you're
worked
really
at
pushing
any
the
time.
limit, saying like the R word and the F word at like 99. I think they were doing something there.
Yeah, in the 80s, or you would have had a couple more. It would have been
Yeah.
rated G.
It's
It
just-
would have been
it's-
rated
it's too-
G, though.
True.
It would have been a G
Yeah,
rating
rated
in
G-rated.
1984.
Good for everybody. Well, on that note, let's move it on to questions.
Comments.
Animosities.
Questions, comments, animosity.
QCA, welcome back. I love a sports movie that starts with a voiceover, probably a quote, maybe talking about the generation we're into. This, has to describe the town of their Texas town. Like it.
Did it pop in throughout the movie, or did it just kind of
At the very end,
We got
I
it at the
think.
beginning, and we got it at the end, right?
Bookend, yeah.
Okay. I couldn't remember if I missed it somewhere throughout the mix.
Nope, that's all you get.
It wasn't like
I've got
Homeward
it.
Bound.
Jeez, let's do that sometimes. But I'm gonna, as an adult, maybe it'll kick with me. But I did not like it as a kid as much as everybody else.
That's
did.
one movie that will make me bawl at the end.
There's a good chance I'll tear up.
I will cry.
Okay, I've got an overarching question because this is kind of your guys' first view, right? This is a teen movie, right? And it's a sports movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's this MTV production. What do you think it's most of? More sports or more teen?
A lot of music in the background, a lot of rock music. So MTV got their footprint on it.
I think it's 60-40 and 60 being teen.
Yeah, I think
There's
I
a
agree
good
with that.
amount of that, like, camaraderie sports. There's a lot, in my opinion, there's a lot of good football scenes in this compared to like The Blind Side or like, I don't know, I guess We Are Marshall has some good ones. This had some good, like, action football scenes.
I'll go as far to say
I think it's for
this
sure
might have-
a football movie. I agree.
This might have some of the
But-
most musical accompanying like football montages maybe of all time. Obviously the There Goes Your Hero, but even when they're hungover and they're doing that montage, shit, what song are they playing?
Thunderstruck?
Yeah, Thunderstruck. Like that's another good one.
When they're getting their ass beat.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the point you're bringing up is accurate. Yeah, the music does slap during.
Let's
the
not
scene.
brush
MTV.
past. Hold on. So I'm sorry, Jordan. Let's not brush past My Hero at that
My Hero,
at
like-
that last push to like win the.
It's
Is it
not
district
it's not,
championships?
It's
It's not even
there.
the championship.
It's not
It's
there
just
that they use
districts.
it. It's for Billy Bob that they use it in his big moment. When we get to like the final play, we get to like regular score, and in my head, I remember it like ending with that and them twirling and shit, and like how I think MTV that year, the MTV Movie Awards, like showed it to me in the showcase.
Oh, like they did a preview for it. Like,
Yeah.
hey, we made
I
this
think
movie.
It
Check
was in the
out.
trailer.
But to your point, though, the way that that's edited feels more like a teenage movie because most sports movies, even if they're
They'll have
Telling
more
a
of a patriotic
teenage story.
sort of, right?
they're gonna have a score.
They're gonna have a
right?
score, yep.
And I feel like that's one of the big things, aside from kind of the plucky comedy.
I mean,
in
they had
here and
Green Day in here. They had
Yeah.
whatever
90s
Limp
movie. It's
Bizkit,
gonna have
yeah,
more rock than anything else.
I liked that though. I really did. This was my first watch. If I watched this when I was an 8th grader, like this would have been like my favorite football movie ever. Instead, now I'm a Disney guy and I like remember the Titans. Unfortunately,
But
not a
to
bad
your
thing.
point, though, I think because you're like, oh, if I caught this in middle school, I think that's the perfect time to catch it because it is made for teens and preteens. I think.
At that time.
it's American
Big
Pie
pants.
with a football in its hand.
Exactly.
American
yeah.
football. Yeah.
I don't want to besmirch it, but just throw away comment. But that little brother's weird. I mean, at the end, he's starting a cult, a straight up cult.
It's just a weird part. Yeah, that was almost unnecessary.
At least he has a supportive mom because that guy's got manifesto written all over him, and he had friends. He seemed to have friends.
He had a cult. He had people following him.
I will say when he said "Assalamu alaikum," I'm like, that's pretty funny, little kid.
Good on you, kid.
And now that guy, unfortunately, has been missing since.
Do you want to hear some
2007.
other MTV productions?
Yes, I
Maybe
do.
you don't know them.
I actually really would, and I wanted to hear him so much, I almost looked them up.
There were a couple I was surprised about. This actually says popularity. I don't know who were. This is IMDb Pro. This is going on popularity, starting with Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh,
Then this one, Varsity Blues, The Longest Yard,
okay. I'm getting
Election,
election with like Reese Witherspoon.
Reese Witherspoon,
Okay.
yeah, Matthew Broderick,
That one surprised me. Actually.
Yeah.
Coach Carter. That feels like an
That-
MTV movie.
That
I
feels
think.
on
Footloose. I didn't expect that. one.
Remake.
the remake.
Oh, 2011. Yeah, you're right. I had to look at the
Just had
date.
to specify.
Blades of Glory seems about
Okay.
right. Crossroads
Blades
with
of Glory.
Britney Spears and what's his name?
You're
Oh no, I'm thinking of
thinking
Kelly
of Drive Me
Clarkson and-
Crazy? No, you're thinking of.
I'm thinking of Kelly Clarkson and the Dr Pepper guy.
Yeah, I can't think of what it. I know who you're talking about.
Okay, fine.
Kelly and Justin.
Justin.
There we
Yep.
go.
Freedom Riders.
Might have
with
been Justin and
Hilary
Kelly, guys.
Swank. Justin and Kelly. Yeah, that's it. That's my bad. Hand up. Save the Last Dance. Jackass Forever. We're getting kind of chalked now.
Save
to-
the Last
Oh,
Dance.
Jackass,
Hey,
yeah,
let's not
Jackass
gloss
were
over,
big ones
gloss
I've
over
heard
Save
of.
the Last Dance. We should do that.
My mom loved that movie, and in turn, I love that
I'm
movie.
sure that didn't age as well.
Get Rich or Die Trying.
I will say
Oh, the
this.
50
I've
Cent
seen this
movie?
movie before.
Yep.
Jesus, man. That was a long time
Mm-hmm.
ago, probably now. I will say
2005.
this. I completely forgot this was an MTV production, and I've definitely seen the movie when it came out and since then. But I forgot it was an MTV production, and once I saw that, I said, buckle in, we're about to have a good time.
True.
I'm going to enjoy this, I think.
You know, also true to the times, just comment, Bubba's first concussion was probably taken as accurately as it was at the time taken for concussions. We didn't really.
They didn't do anything for concussions back then. They really
just
didn't.
Here's what I have written, Cameron. I said the good old 90s, back when we didn't care about concussions and CTE.
Bubba's too stupid to know about fingers. Just let him know if you're holding something up. That's not good.
The worst part is Vanderbeek was
Billy
like,
Bob.
no, you got to give him a yes or no, 50-50.
Like, that's
it's
not how it works at
Vanderbeek's
all.
fault that it's Moxie's fault that like he's going through this. The doctor was like, he's got to go.
Also, why is he on the field? You sit on the sideline. They got doctors. You're the backup quarterback.
Also, like, I just want to. This doesn't seem like a big town. Doesn't seem like they have a high budget. Granted, a lot of these kind of stereotypes, a lot of the budget goes to the team, in like the football team where it makes money. But this high school football team is juicing more than bodybuilders. Where are they getting
Texas
all
is a
this?
different breed, I will say, of football. Like,
True.
I have a lot of questions about Texas football. Like, you know, we grew up playing football in Iowa. I don't think the stars
see
of our
some of
team
these, like-
get six packs here and stuff.
No, they were still pretty by the book here. Maybe like a free Sunday at Dairy Queen.
Well, I don't think they were juicing up, Cameron. I think they were taking like pain killing shots.
That's true.
here's your free dilly
Where
bar.
are they getting that even though? Who is this athletic trainer? Granted, we see him taking a bribe at the end and being like, hey, I only get real evil for money.
That's true. Okay, so one thing I want to say, I actually, and I think movies get this wrong all the time, but this one actually got right. The size of the football fields and the crowds around them actually seem pretty accurate.
It's like a smaller town.
Yeah, small
Yeah.
town football.
100%.
I actually think this is pretty accurate. The coach, he's won however many district titles, but only 2 state championships. That's pretty accurate.
That's
Because if they
accurate.
would have said he's won like 20, I'm like, in
There's
Texas,
those two
get the fuck outta
banners
here.
you look at in that gymnasium.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, he pointed at one. He pointed
20-year
at the other.
career.
There's two.
That kind of makes sense. One thing I absolutely think they get wrong, and so many sports movies gets wrong, and this is a huge animosity I have with football movies.
Pep rally.
No, that's all like whatever.
Okay.
I want to hear your beef about that in a
costume
second, though.
design. It's a pure costume design. Yeah, we'll get back to pep rally. Out of all the football games we see, each team, including the team we watch, all of them only have 2 pairs of cleats. They have all black ones and they have one with stripes, and they're all Reeboks.
Well, in
and that pisses me
'99,
off.
that's all I was going to use was my black Reeboks.
what-
I
what's
didn't have anything else.
What's your animosity?
What do you mean
Not
you're
true.
switching cleats? Where are you
No.
going? To Oregon?
Every player has the same type of cleat. Every player.
You're saying they just.
well,
every
yeah, 'cause
player
you went
on
to
the
Johnson's
opposing
Footwear
team
in
and them
Manchester, Iowa.
themselves.
There's only two options.
There were years.
Not one kid wore a pair of white cleats. Not one pair of kid had something that wasn't Reebok. It just irritates me.
There's years that you get on the horn. You all try to get the same thing. Try to uniform.
No.
it.
I
That
understand
was
a
big for
team
basketball.
shoe. I agree.
Oh, team shoe. Oh, okay. Jordan, go on.
But the opposing team didn't. They weren't in on that meeting. They didn't get the exact same shoe, did they?
Okay, touche.
Some kids wearing running shoes.
It really pisses me off. Anyway, I know that it's just easier to do that, whatever, but that has always made me mad about sports movies, in particular football movies.
Here's a pretty big animosity I have. Moxie, you're the second string quarterback. You got to know in practice not to like immediately start running like secret plays right away and trick plays. Like just run shit
Do
by
not
the
run the oop de oop. In fact, who ran that by you?
run shit by the book for a while. Maybe just like throw like some crazy shit
Throw
in
a
the game.
slant.
but-
Throw a button hook, dude.
And for being as smart as he is, there's a few times like in the game, he's like, I don't know that call. Here's what we're doing. Like you didn't learn it. You were reading a
Well,
fucking
stop
book.
reading Lion Witch in the Wardrobe and
Yeah.
focus up, dude.
We agree is smart, right? Or at least smart
We don't-
enough
we
to
don't
get into
know that.
Brown
We don't know
University. He got a full ride to Brown University, so he's got.
Turns
at
out,
least
hold
have
on, animosity there. Ivy League schools don't offer scholarships, academic, athletic. They don't offer scholarships.
We don't know it's
That's-
athletic. We don't know if it's athletic scholarship.
Well, I think
no
I think it
academic
said
at all.
a
They
full
don't offer
academic.
scholarships. Like
I
people,
see what you're
people get
saying.
into those schools because they don't offer scholarship at all. There.
But Mark, movies
There's a
do it
plan.
all the time.
Yeah, I mean, we can
I-
chalk this up to being a Texas early 2000s teen movie, and then
I do
we
like a
throw all
little bit
this out.
though when somebody gets into an Ivy League school that's not Yale or Harvard. I'm like, good on you guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Don't shoot for the stars. Shoot
Oh,
for,
nice. Cornell.
somewhere in the sky. Got into Brown.
yeah.
And this is no insult to Brown. You guys are fine, whatever. But he's smart enough to get into Brown. But I think the big thing is he says he loves football, and he does, right? But he's not paying attention.
He's pretty damn good at football.
Yeah, he's really good, but he's reading Cameron. You believe it to be Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe?
that's what I
I think
said.
it's probably more The Hobbit, is my guess.
They show the book. There is an answer, and write in and tell. Sorry.
Pride and Prejudice.
Yeah, let us know.
This is just a throw off. Just thinking about that scene. Why was Coach Kilmer? Why was he so like? It looked like to me he was studying the plays.
The playbook.
Why was he so suspicious
He's evil.
that he was like
He's
doing
just-
something sinister?
Because he's the bad
He's
guy.
just a goddamn devil.
Right. Don't do that. Well, it's a teen movie.
I got a question about John Voight as a character in most movies where he's a bad
Sure.
guy. Because of the way his face looks and the way he acts, is it always implied, and I could be reading this wrong, that he is a Nazi? Or is that just me?
I think you were just
Well,
reading
you
into
saw
his
how he
face.
quieted the students down at the pep rally. Right?
I did,
think
yeah, that
he
was on my
howled Hitler.
radar.
I think he howled
All
Hitler.
right. That was most certainly on my radar.
I think he. Yeah.
Hey, I got an animosity
Okay.
for you. Billy Bob is huffing oxygen on the bench the next time we see him for the next game. Like, is everybody doing that, or is that like Billy Bob's oxygen?
That's Billy Bob's.
That's Billy
As
Bob's
far as I'm
oxygen.
concerned, yeah.
Okay, just checking. Maybe he should.
Do you want to hear a huge animosity that I have with Billy Bob's character and most very, very, very overweight characters in sports
He's
movies?
big. That doesn't mean he's good at playing. Yeah.
I don't think he could be a nose guard. I don't think he could move enough to be an offensive
If you're
lineman,
that
'cause
big, no, you can be good at, like, I don't know.
but he didn't look like he could move well.
Oh, no,
based on
yeah.
the way he moved. And I'm like, man, I don't know about this.
He's
He
got
just,
no twitch. What are the twitch?
the quick twitch. Yeah. He doesn't have any quick twitch to him at all. He's got very slow twitch. But can I credit his character that I had no idea when this movie came out what puke and rally meant? And then I shortly after the movie learned, like in high school, I'm like, I got you.
We're at the party scene. Is this movie maybe the most egregious of just kids getting away with anything in a football town?
Yeah, what are the consequences for Tweeter just stealing a cop car?
Scott Kahn's
Just
going
a high
to jail
five.
after the football
DUI.
season.
Scott Kahn's going to jail.
And just those soft
I don't think so.
You say
He's
after the
going to
football season? No, he should go to jail that night.
after the football
No,
season.
he's going to jail in
After the-
2000.
so you're one
He's
of the-
going to
you're one of
jail
the sheriffs
2000 when
and-
he's not on the football
Yep.
team.
Cameron's one of the sheriffs, like, just after the season.
Well, like,
I swear we can beat Fillmore. We can beat Fillmore.
I mean, the coach knows. The coach knows because they're complaining about him, right? These kids are getting too wild.
and even, I like that the coach is like, my boy's getting too wild for you. It's not like he's like, I'll do something about it. He's like, no,
Yeah, they stole our police car.
yeah, they fired our weapons.
Oh, I got a question. So Mox is walking down Main Street, reflecting on whatever the fuck he's reflecting on. Tweeter pulls up with the car full of naked
Yep.
ladies.
It's sophomores.
Mox gives that.
Girls.
He gives his Letterman jacket to one of the girls.
Yes.
Does he get that Letterman jacket back?
No,
No, I think it's.
he's
gone.
the star quarterback. He gets a new one.
I think he asked for it back. Like, he's on the search for it.
I bet it's not direct. He's like, hey, has anybody? And he's talking to the group of girls that were in there. It's like, does
Anybody?
I dropped my jacket. Did anybody see that at
Yeah.
all? And one of them's wearing it, and they're like, no.
He's gonna want to like display that at his like graduation party, Moxie. He's gonna have a nice.
Yeah, he's about to get a
Yeah.
varsity letter that
That's
he didn't
right.
have before
That's right.
because he's a starter.
Trickle down on Verified, that naked sophomore who gets the jacket, that is her one and only movie. But we're talking about it now, but it wasn't important enough for Unverified.
Gone but not forgotten. There you go. Way to go.
Can we talk about young Vanderbeek's head? Just his head in general.
The size of it?
Kind of shaped,
Yeah.
just shaped odd.
Well,
Just shaped odd.
Let's talk about Peyton Manning. Is he built for?
Yeah.
Is he built to be a star quarterback?
No,
Then
no.
yes,
Well, maybe
no.
maybe a high school star quarterback, but his stature's pretty short.
You know how like you put like a football helmet on and you kind of look like dorky, like your neck looks long and like you just kind of. Vanderbeek and Peyton Manning both put the helmet on and they look perfect. It looks better on nobody else but
Well,
them.
it just looks like we replicated their head.
That's right. Yeah, it's
Like,
just a shell.
Their head we just accentuated their forehead. It's like you really filled in the gap. I got a question about Vanderbeek's hair. There's a lot of sweaty scenes and
Yep.
it's tamed. Does it get more feathery as the movie goes on? I feel like in scene he's getting feathery or feathery and more and feather. Here's just a small like. I like that he has number 4. It's a nod to I believe Brett Favre at the time.
That's,
yeah,
yeah.
that number is gone.
Do
Nobody
not
wears number
bring
4
up
anymore.
Green Bay Packers.
Sorry,
ever
that's the last time I'll bring it up. I was talking about Brett Favre for the Vikings and the Jets, not the Green Bay
again.
Packers.
Right, the Vikings. Oh, God.
Going back to just like, well, one, Scott Conn is going to jail, but just if I lived in a small town and I was the star quarterback, it would be pretty hard for me not to
partake in all the things
abuse
you
how
get.
cool that would be. At least I'd be drinking all the time in public.
I wrote this down that, man, if we have fans that listen in Texas, let us know if that's what high school football is like.
Or
that's
was
way more
like,
fun
at
than
least
we
in the
got to play.
90s.
Yeah, now you would drink down Main Street.
I would Vanderbeek it
You
all
would
the
take your
time.
six-pack.
Yeah, I'd cruise.
Yeah. I got to talk about Lance's injury. There's nothing worse from like 1960 to like 2005 than a torn ACL. That was any movie's. You're done. You're done forever. But really, I think
Career
he
ender.
still would have played in college. He would have just maybe sat out a year. I don't think he would. He didn't look like a running quarterback, probably. Like, I think he would have rebounded from it.
He's young enough for sure. We'll have to see what happens to Aaron Rodgers.
There's a big difference between tearing your Achilles at 39 versus tearing your
that's a
ACL at
career
17.
Yep.
The thing that surprised me, and the doctor's like, I don't know if he's ever going to walk again, ever.
Jordan, he's not
he
a
really
good
tore
doctor.
up-
He's a doper.
That's true. They shouldn't have gone to the local hospital, and this is a big animosity, and had surgery the night of the injury.
Yeah.
It's probably they're fucking like a horse doctor or something like at that hour in a small town like that.
What are they shooting into the running back and Paul Walker? Is it some sort of
Straight adrenaline.
cortisone or
It's called
steroids?
cortisone,
or...
I believe, right? Which is just like
Anyways,
a numbing agent.
John Voight's got to shut the door. He keeps forgetting to shut the door, and then he's
That is
meeting
pretty
eyes
lazy
with.
by him.
Or he just
You just shut
everybody
the
knows
door.
about the juice and no one will say anything, you know?
It appears no one knows, and he forgot to shut the door, and is always like caught with his pants down
Multiple times.
every time.
I think every starter knows, but maybe James Vanderbeek didn't know because he was second team. Briefly, what do you think about the dads? Pretty bad acting, but kind of fun dipshittery.
Yeah, it's a fun like King of
Hold
the Hill
on.
moment at that like party.
Lance's dad is fucking hilarious. I have a quick clip to play you guys.
Okay.
I'd love to hear it.
One of my favorite parts of the movie. Here we go.
Ooh, sporting some tuna now, you winner.
That part right there always gets me. Ooh.
I got a couple notes on that. You know what's most egregious about that scene? They're all playing football. Like, this isn't impressive shit. They can definitely throw a football 5 yards or 10 yards, what they were at. Like the Suns, like
Yeah.
both of them, they're in football. They're good. They're fine.
Yeah,
like
Lance's actually had a pretty
in-season.
bad button hook. It was not a great catch.
But this isn't our Mount Rushmore, and I didn't bring it up to you, but when Lance's dad finds out that he's never going to play football again or whatever, tell me no.
Lord,
That's up
not
there
to
with
me.
Cedric Diggory's dad when he found out that he was
Turns
dead.
out
It's up
Turns
there.
out Ali Lauder's not the only person really banking on that scholarship in future football.
Ooh, I'm glad
she
you brought
hopped
that
off
up because
quick.
she quick like game one before
Game one. That
before
was
they
it.
even got a
That was it.
diagnosis.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just pretty heartless and pretty
Could
blatant.
have been a sprain. She hurt Achilles and she bounced.
That's it.
Like you don't need a
She want whipped
scholarship to
cream
leave
bikini
town.
on 'em.
You can go to a community college in another state, in another place. You could just go.
Although, what was she gonna do? Because I think it was going to Florida State. Was she just gonna live with him
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
or go to school?
Yeah. Wait for football money to roll in.
Pretty smart idea.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. Moxon's going to Brown. Like, just
Brown.
go to. Yeah, I know it's no Yale or Harvard. Did you hear that, Brown?
Did you hear that?
Yeah, they're like in my nightmares every night. We fucking hear it.
So the strip club scene, Billy Bob might not get arrested because the town, they're just letting this stuff fly. But he's definitely getting worked over by the staff because that shit doesn't fly. You can't go up on the stage like that. You can't touch the strippers.
Yeah, you definitely can't. He would.
Yeah, but he's fat and jolly. Like, I think that there's a fat
That's
and
true.
jolly.
You do get some leniency
Yeah,
there.
there's a
I
fat and
actually
jolly
think that's
rule.
true.
They would have leaned into the hits because they're like, he's fat. Just hit him.
And it's Thursday night, which I actually disagree with Mox and his leadership. They should have just done it after the game. I actually think that's 100%
100% animosity. At least you have to know not to get that fucked up the night before a
Yeah.
game. Like maybe even stay out that late. That's fine, but have a couple drinks.
Who are we playing? Like the movie is way over the top, obviously, right? But it's got some rewatchability, just because of how silly it is. I don't know. It paces well.
It's a 10.
Not that long.
So that is a debate between me and Megan. What is the biggest quote of the movie, and I think we all know 1, 2, 3 Jinx.
I don't want your life.
Your life. So that's the quote. But Megan's like, I'm pretty sure it's 10. It's a 10. I'm like, I want it to be true for
As
you.
far as usability goes, that one has more funny moments than me just turning to you and saying, I don't want your life.
I don't know. I don't know about your life when used right is pretty funny to me.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know if they traveled outside of town, whatever, but there's no way that this in a small town or a surrounding
People
town
don't
or even
know.
a surrounding city, everybody knows the teacher strips. There's
Word
no way you can
travels
keep that
fast.
quiet. Yeah. So is that just common knowledge amongst adults that the sex ed teacher also strips
Makes it
at?
seem like no, because she's asking them to keep it a secret at school. But yeah, there's not a chance that's not public knowledge.
She's whipping around like a Ferrari. I think he even notices, like, damn, how'd she pay for that on a teacher's salary?
On a part-time teacher salary.
Yeah, part-time sex education teacher salary.
Who do you think's telling first? I've got my answers, but you...
You know what? Actually,
I'll
let me
listen.
rethink this. She doesn't need that fucking teaching job. She's probably making bank at the club. So, like, fuck it. You lost your part-time job.
I don't know which job she needs most, but she can't have both.
Agreed.
And the answer
It seems like, yeah,
Tweeter's telling
Tweeter
everybody.
is telling everybody. But Billy Bob might.
Oh, you want to hear an animosity I have about the football team?
What's that?
On a team like this, Tweeter would be playing both ways, or at least somebody. They're all just playing offense. None of them play defense.
Texas, everyone's playing, even though, I mean, they just might have enough players on the team that they have both.
Okay. That's fine. I think it's just easier to just shoot one side of the ball. Like, we're just going to do everything on offense for, like, the logistics of the movie.
That makes sense, too. I think that's part of it.
Okay, let's get to the whipped cream bikini. I cut you off earlier.
I don't have much to say other than it exists and we should talk about it.
It's just iconic,
animosity.
right? Like that scene.
I guess comment. We all like it, right? We're all in favor.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking from my 13-year-old kid and a 36-year-old. It's like, yeah, I like that.
Once
but
you
here's
hear
an
it's
animosity.
what is it, shaving cream? It's like, take a lick of that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Barbasol. Maybe some people gel if they really lather it up. My animosity is she was back there for 15 seconds and she came out with that. 1, whipped cream itself we know wouldn't last. But 2, there's no way she had the
Don't
time
say
to do
two
that.
like
Jordan.
But 2, she just didn't have the time. She didn't have the time. You would have heard, and then you'd have to open another can.
Hear me out. No, it's just those.
cherry fuck.
No.
You'd be walking like this.
Oh, goddamn, where's the cherries
You'd
at?
be waddling.
She's wearing a tracksuit, so you can strip that off easy peasy. That takes a couple seconds at most.
I'm
Yeah,
not
but
saying
it's at
that
her
getting
feet, though.
naked part
She's
is the tough
dragging it
part.
behind.
You're thinking the aerosol can. Here's the dealio. It's those tubs. She's just taking a scoop handful,
Okay.
slap, a goop,
slap.
and she's covered. 3 slaps and she's
Don't
out.
say goop. You can't goop a tit, I don't think.
That was her vagina I was gooping.
Oh.
You'd have yourselves a real Mrs. Doubtfire moment. Hello! Like just like a real quick dupe and you're back in it.
I think no matter what you
drops
have
in a
anyway.
Cup of tea.
Kudos to Cameron. I truly did not think of. I always just didn't we hear aerosol?
We
cans?
probably did, honestly, yeah.
I gotta. I just feel like I wasn't confused. Part 2, I couldn't help but, and I rewatched it after the movie. Not another teen movie. Chris Evans,
Oh, with the whipped cream.
the banana split.
Yeah.
It got me. I could not think of it.
Should we talk about the Billy Bob scene on the field?
Which one?
Which
Well,
one?
we want to talk about the suicide one because mostly the next
Oh, the
morning,
shotgun one.
there's going to be.
Oh, the shotgun.
I know this is Texas, but there's going to be so many shells in the field and debris and like no one like that's going to suck to play on.
And broken.
Bottles and glass.
Is that the
Bottles,
main
glass,
field or
and
is that like a
trophies?
practice field? I didn't know where I think he was at like a practice field.
It led me to believe if he was going to end things, it was going to be grandiose on the field. It was on the
It
field.
was on the main field. I don't know how easy this was, and let us know if you were the star player at your high school team, if you could get on the 50-yard line any night of the week with the lights on. Because I don't feel like we could.
Jordan, this also seems like the type of town, though.
Yes, you could.
It also seems like the
Lights on, you just get to sit out there and drink with on your truck.
Oh, lights on? No.
Jordan.
I'm saying stadium lights are on.
Stadium lights are on.
This
Yeah,
is striking me
no.
as I drove my truck through the chain fence and then hit the switch on the lights, and now I'm gonna drink and then kill myself.
I'm not worried about how I got here because I'm gonna end up dead.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's one of those situations.
You know when Tweeter blocked the punt at the end there? It's a big deal.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Brought him back. They just
Yeah.
called the play dead. Doesn't a blocked punt, the ball's still
Yeah,
live,
I did notice
right?
that.
No?
It's still live ball till somebody falls on
I was curious about that. I was wondering if the rules had changed since I remembered, but movie logic.
So
I'll even one up you. They run a hook and ladder at the end, and they throw the ball to Billy Bob.
illegal lineman downfield. Just
Yeah, he's downfield. He can't do it. They'd have to really wait for
he
him
says
to
it
get
earlier
there.
in the movie. He's like, "Wouldn't I just be downfield?"
Yeah,
And
I was
they're
about to say,
shut up,
it's
get in
illegal.
line.
Yeah, he's even. Yeah,
There's a flag.
Mox
Call that
isn't
back.
that smart.
My big question about that whole scene: John Voight's character is out, right? He's done. He
Never coached again.
I don't know. Never coached again, right? Where's the rest of the fucking staff? Why is it just Lance calling?
Oh, they were
plays?
doing illegal shit. They just left
in which
town.
case,
they were
why
never,
does he?
They were never seen
Why does he
again.
have a headset
the other
on? Who's he
7
talking
coaches
to?
are like, we're all done.
Jordan, they were pumping drugs into teens. They're getting the fuck out of town.
Did I miss all the assistant coaches during the? Was it just a one
No,
coach team?
it's just the one. But
Is
that's
this-
what we're
we
making
really
fun
just see
of.
that physical therapy. Yeah, that like fit trainer. That's all we really see. It's him and Voight. So comment, Amy Smart, the girlfriend should not forgive Vanderbeek for going to Alley Ladders in the first place. Like that's a foul. But I will say she truly doesn't understand how evil that coach is. Not that those pressures made him do it, but two separate things happened in that scene. One, he's like, I'm sorry. I just went over there to see the whipped cream bikini. But then also he's like, but you really don't get how evil this coach is and what I'm dealing with. He's bad. She doesn't get that. I will say that.
I think a lot of things are true. One, she didn't get it, but to her point, she's like, it's just football and you don't give a shit about it.
I'm a
And
living god now.
Yeah, like, don't you know? All right, so she didn't get that aspect. I do like, though, when I was a kid, I'm like, Mox is a stand-up guy because he reads books. But watching as an adult, he really just gives into temptations. He's like, listen, it'll work if it works, but I got to see this bikini, and I am a god.
He's at fault for Billy Bob's CTE. He's not a good guy.
No, not great.
That was actually protocol for 1999, though.
That is true.
True or
Get
false?
your fat ass up and block.
Yeah.
Animosity, just comment though. I've never had an inspirational speech in my life. Haven't had a coach give me anything that really got me pumped.
You never had a coach that like said something that like resonated with you?
Not a speech. We were talking about this earlier on, but just comment. This does seem more like the Billy Bob story than Vanderbeek's, than Mox's kind of. He has at least a bigger turn, kind of, and I care more about his character. He might die.
Definitely his plot like is a big part of the whole movie. Like
I think they were all, it really just felt more like an ensemble piece, but Vanderbeek was our main character, I guess.
maybe it's the editing, but I did not see Billy Bob stealing the show personally.
He's like, oh no, am I going to go to Brown and I got a girlfriend? Oh, I'm really good at football now? You know, like, yeah, he didn't go through that much trials and tribulations. The other guy was dying in front of us. So, yeah, he was going through it more. And the coach was real mean to him. I really want to know the route to picking people up on game day.
Oh,
they start in the
it's
country,
crazy.
they go into town. Where are they at? What's going on? They're on
where's
Main
the tree?
Street.
Where's the carpool tree?
And also, it doesn't.
He can't
By
do that
the
every
time we
week.
get to school, it's not crazy, but it seems like we pick up the whole offense, like in the opening credits. Jesus. Oh, also, animosity. Vanderbeek's got to stop hitting mascots. They don't all have it coming. Not everyone's mean.
That's a flag.
It's funny,
That's a 15-yard
It's
penalty.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh, it's good. It's good fun.
That's a flag though. That is probably some sort of
15-yard
unsportsmanlike.
penalty. It just
something.
is. It's egregious. You can't do that.
Can I ask something about the last game? Is this just
Yeah.
district championship? We're still.
Oh, you want to get into this? Yeah.
I do.
No,
Let's get into this.
This is the last game of the season, the regular season, to win district, to win their district, right?
Okay.
So this means they won it. They're gonna go to some sort of
Only
playoff
4 more
system,
games.
correct?
2 more games. Nope. No one's ever playing again, Jordan.
Yeah, because
So
the
that means they
voicing comes in at
they
the end of the
lost
movie.
The first round.
No, I'm glad you brought this up because Megan and I talked about this a lot.
Okay.
He says, I never played another game in my life. So either he quit or got injured or something, but he didn't play the next game.
He didn't play
Probably
the
because
next
they
game.
didn't have.
Well,
But the
turns
team
out
didn't lost.
Turns out you can't have a student coach, so they didn't qualify to go.
They just, hey, you guys need a
guys
coach.
need a real
And
coach.
your whole coaching staff lost.
Do you guys remember what Kilmer's game strategy was for the last game? Just game plan.
Run?
What
It was like run the ball?
Yeah, it was run. It was run. So why not put some, like, why do we need Mox? Mox, you're out of here. Sorry, son. Go to Brown. Get
that's
anybody
true.
to hand the ball off. If that's what we're
Get
doing,
Tweeter to do it.
hand the ball off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and
A
they
mis-
would have
a
been
misstep
actually.
on Kilmer's part.
Can I ask a weird question?
Yes.
Kilmer's mean and bad, but like he seems like an okay killer.
He wants to win. He wants to win.
He doesn't seem like that.
I
Egregious.
think it's
Just seems like a
I
dick.
think it's the drugging and the putting people's health at risk and their future careers for short
And
sighted
possible
wins.
racism.
And racism.
The thing that confuses me, and I think it could happen, but I'm trying to do the math. Could John Voight's character coach their parents and be the age he is, and also coach his sons? They said he won
Good
like
point.
24 district championships, so it
Started
could
young.
work. But their parents would have to be like his first couple teams,
Yeah,
right?
it could work out.
Just for the record, I am not pro the coach. I'm just saying he did get pretty good results. Get him out of there, though. Get him out. You know what somebody are going to say in the next couple seasons when they're rebuilding? Like, man, what's his name was an asshole, but I miss
Now
winning.
what they're going to be saying is, wow, Lance didn't graduate high school, but he's one hell of a high school coach.
If I was Kilmer, I'd just kind of like slip in.
The
like-
next year when they're all graduated.
well, no, just like even like after like the touchdown, just like
Woohoo.
Like-
That was your-
There's your sequel. There's your sequel. You got to beat Coach Kilmer at your rival school that he started coaching at.
that's like Mighty Ducks. Or
Oh,
something.
I do have one more little animosity. So we're at, I don't know which after party it is, right? I think it's the night that
Gets
Lance
hurt.
tears his ACL. They still have the after party, and everybody's having a blast because they just won. And they have that guy from the class of '89,
Oh,
Oh yeah.
which is funny and fun in itself. But the guy's like, I never miss one of these. Everybody would know who the hell that guy is then if you show up every post high school
Yeah.
football game
who's to
party.
say they don't?
Everybody knows who Bryce is. Yeah.
Yeah, like Bryce.
Yeah, he
Jesus,
shows up to
stay
every
away
party.
from him. But yeah, he buys the kegs. Except for in this small town, everybody.
This
can
is
buy
his house. I don't know why he does this, but
sells insurance.
and then
This
you
is a killer
still
party.
you
Way
still
to go,
hit him in
Bryce.
the, like the bat in the nuts with like a wiffle ball bat.
Part of the phone to Bryce.
Bryce
He's like, I
loves
love
it.
this. I miss this shit. All right, I gotta go
loves
put
that
my kids to sleep, but I'll be right back out. All right, I don't know if we covered it all. Pants are big. The movie's ridiculous. It's still fun. Coach is bad.
MTV.
MTV. Yes, an MTV production.
Well, with that, let's move it on to recasting. Recasting. Where to start here? Let's maybe just keep it with the football players for a second.
That'd be fine.
The lowest person I had was Wendell. The actual.
Oh, you went deep. I didn't even go Wendell.
Which one's Wendell?
He's the actual football player, the guy that's not getting any touchdowns because the coach
Oh,
is
I got
racist.
one, but
I could do it. I could do one off the dome.
I'm throwing off
Can we
Usher
go?
just from the faculty. I want to get him started somewhere.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's fine.
I want Michael B. Jordan.
Okay.
Just guy seems like
Modernization.
he can be running back.
Kel. I'll go Kel.
Ooh, I like that. Plus, he's worked with the director.
True. I don't know if he's athletic enough looking, but
Yeah,
Kel?
he could dance.
Yeah, he's not like a big running back that's going to eventually go to
Yeah, he'll be a wide
Stanford,
receiver.
but-
I get what you're saying. Okay. What about Tweeter? I went a little over the top, but Sean William Scott.
That's what I did
had
too.
that, and I knew we were all going to
Sean-
write it down. But
Okay, then perfect. Let's move.
Stiffmeister, it just is what it
perfect.
is, and it's perfect.
It is what it is.
We're not wrong. It's just what it
We
was.
might have a tie also on Billy Bob. I did Ethan Suppley.
Is he from Remember the
He's
Titans?
not like he's too timid.
He's.
I wrote
I get
down
where you're
in
going.
that,
It's
in that
chalk.
role he is.
I 100% thought about this, thought about him. We're obviously limited because of the plot. He has to be bigger. And I don't even know if mine makes sense. I just went as young as we've ever seen John Goodman. Just toss him in there, let him rip.
Sure, I'll take that.
It's not great, but
Personality, just like Jack Black. Someone like that is crazy. You know?
so I did think about Jack Black, but it's always hard to you got to like tame the Jack down. You got to
Not in this one as much,
Was
though.
Billy Bob tame though? This would be perfect for Jack Black.
He didn't do
It's
any
almost over the
karate
top.
kicks or coming at you, yay-haws, and like, you know,
Yeah,
Jack
but he
Black
like
shit.
humped a stripper and like took his shirt off and was like just fat as fuck.
Then John Candy, go back and watch Stripes,
No, I'll say I thought the Jack Black one, honestly, that works for me.
I do believe Jack Black would be a better lineman because he seems pretty nimble.
That makes sense.
Although he's like 5'4", I think.
We'll keep it in the characters before we get to the last two, but
we're bringing out fucking heights now. Jeez.
He's just really, really short, is all I'm saying.
I got it.
All right. Get it out, Cameron. Take it out of there.
The Paul Walker character. I like mine, Freddie Prinze Jr.
Yeah, he's a pretty boy.
Yeah, that works.
Star quarterback. What do you got?
90s Josh Hartnett.
Ooh, I was
He's
so
kind of a
close to
heartthrob
putting
back
him.
then.
That works for me.
Yeah.
I could also maybe see him being the main one too, but yeah, that works.
I go Buzzcut Keanu Reeves.
I thought about putting him
They're
somewhere.
interchangeable for me.
100%.
I'll take it.
Nobody was wrong there, though.
Before we get to Moxon, the coach, let's go to Julian Darcy. Let's start with Darcy. That'd be the whipped cream bikini, Ali Larder.
I'll go first. Jessica Alba, 100% all the way.
Oh, I thought about that. Yeah, that works for me there. I have two people I can't choose between. Time-wise, you know what? I'm going to go Elizabeth Berkley. Saved by the Bell,
Ooh.
striptease and or showgirls. I can't exactly remember.
I'll do Kirsten Dunst. I don't know. She was kind of popping off in the 90s.
Who'd you say?
I definitely thought of her somewhere.
Kirsten Dunst.
Oh, funny enough, I'll just jump ahead to my next one, but that was actually my main Julie.
Okay.
It's like more of the girl
Oh, I could
next
see
door
that.
kind of. I also thought, though, just sticking to Darcy real quick, sorry, for 90s, Tara Reid, she kind of played that, the high.
100 yeah.
That could work.
This is just a football American Pie. So that makes sense.
Who else did you guys have for Julie's, though, since I threw my Kirsten Dunst in there?
Cameron, I think you could do almost a coupling Sarah Michelle Gellar and
I thought about it. And Freddie
Prinze.
I thought about it. Yeah, I don't hate that at all.
Yeah.
I like mine, and I don't know if you guys will feel, but like Natalie Portman, 100%.
That could work, kind of, maybe the intellectual, like, girl next door.
That's what it
Or
is.
girl next door,
I'm
yeah.
not into the scene.
Time-wise, I think this works, but also Mandy Moore, thought about.
Time-wise, it works
She was
perfectly.
doing teen movies.
Yeah, it works. She could probably play either role, I suppose, too.
Okay. Let's move it on to Coach Kilmer. I had quite a few. I don't know where to go, so Jordan, you go first.
I kind
I'm
of like
so
mine. I'll
happy
go first
with
if you want
mine.
to shit. Oh, then Jordan.
No,
you
go, Mark.
I've never heard that line. I am so happy with mine.
I
So-
thought about this a
You have
lot,
to go.
and I
Okay, Jordan goes
Give him
last.
an accent.
Mark, what do you got?
Yeah, I'll
hold
go
on.
last.
He's
I'll go last.
He's
Proud.
stumbling.
Mark, what do you
I'll
got?
go last
He's
because
so
maybe you
proud
guys
of
won't
you.
like it.
No, we're gonna be proud. I did Christopher Cooper.
Okay, yeah, we've used him.
Just a hard ass
Thought-
coach. He could do that well.
Yeah, he'd be evil about it. Oh,
October Sky dad, just football coach, hard ass.
I'm between two here. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go Martin Short. Martin Sheen.
Whoa.
Martin Sheen.
Okay, all right, that
sorry.
makes a little more sense.
I read it directly.
Martin Short would be a weird choice.
It auto-corrected.
A wild choice.
Martin Sheen.
Martin Sheen. You guys may not like this, and I'm almost taking it with a Southern accent. I feel Alec Baldwin big time in this role.
Okay.
Let him rip. Let it get weird. let
Current
it get
age.
over
I'd
the
want him a
top.
little older.
Yeah. Pick your age, but I'm actually gonna
But
put him in.
that's a great pick.
I also want a current age, but what do you think about Kevin Costner?
Yeah, but his is like the more dramatic version. It's not the MTV.
Yeah, that's true.
version. You know what I mean?
Now we're on to the main character, Moxie. I only had one person, Mark Paul Gosselaar, Saved by the Bell.
I definitely thought of that. I considered it.
He's on my
Guilty as
board.
charged.
Guilty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had him on there. He was on my short list.
It's the only one I
Guilty.
had. What'd you guys have?
Ryan Phillippe.
I could see that.
Sort of a
Ryan
little,
Phillippe
little
could
more
work for me.
timid, kind of just like
Pretty boy.
thrust into greatness.
I like mine, and Mark, this will be trickling down probably a movie that you may or may not bring up sooner than later. I'm going to go Jake Gyllenhaal.
That could work. Yeah.
Bookie, could look athletic. I don't know if it looks like he could throw the ball, but I think he'd be
He's
really
stocky.
good in this
He
role.
seems like a football player, kind of.
I know what you're talking about, Jordan. Yeah,
yeah,
correct.
I'm not going to bring it up,
Correct.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
yeah, I assume. And I won't take it from anybody.
What about Joshua Jackson? Mighty Ducks. A little older.
Yeah, that could work.
I thought of that,
like
and
him
also
there.
to make the James Vanderbeek, the
Connection.
Dawson's
the Dawson's
Creek.
Creek connections. Well, that's our cast this week. Let us know what you thought of our recasting. We're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore. Top 4. Mount Rushmore. Top 4. Mount Rushmore, top 4. This week, we are doing our favorite I Don't Want Your Life movies. You know what we're talking about. Don't want to follow in footsteps kind of vibes. This week, we're doing...
I don't want your life.
I don't want.
This week,
your
we're doing
life.
Mark, Me, Jordan. Mark, what's your number one?
You can go a lot of different ways here. So you don't want to follow in somebody's footsteps, whether it be your older brother, your mom, your dad, whatever it be. This one's more of a father figure, wants to work in the coal mines. He wants his son to work in the coal mines. I'm doing Jake Gyllenhaal's October Sky.
I figured you were going to do that, which is why I put you number one this week, because if not, I was going to
you deserved it. We weren't going to take it from you.
The rug was going to be pulled out from under me if I didn't take that.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Even if I would have gone first or second, I 100% agree with this. It's the ultimate I don't want your life.
And understandable why.
Yeah, that's a...
I have a lot to choose from here, and a lot of mine were kids' Disney movies. You get a lot of that trope in there.
You said that before we got on, and I didn't realize it, and it's totally true. There's a lot of that trope, sort of.
And out of those, I'm going to pick Ratatouille. They just want him to be a sewer kid. He wants to be a chef.
Nice.
That's
I didn't
not
even
bad.
think of that one.
And that's my
Totally
Disney
true.
one. But
They wanted that rat to be a sewer rat.
But most Disney movies have that trope, so you could probably name any of them. But
So I definitely went down the Disney movies. I didn't think of Ratatouille, actually, but I like that. I surprisingly went kind of the other, like a different genre. Not a lot, but some gangster movies have this trope. And this one's going to seem weird, but I'm picking Goodfellas because he's like, I'm not going to be my dad. I'm going to be a motherfucking gangster. And he was.
on that
happens
note,
early on.
Road to Perdition. I mean, the whole thing is him just not being like his father, kind of.
Yeah, but like
That's
he
the
didn't.
trope.
That's the trope. So there's a couple other gangster ones. I went with Goodfellas and
Like Mulan. I don't like. They want her to be this.
Mulan. I almost should have just said.
Kung Fu Panda wants to be a warrior. Dad's a noodle chef.
I really consider this one. What about Dead
I don't
Poets
want
Soc-
your life.
What
That's
about
we're
Dead
talking
Poets
about.
Society with Neil at the end?
Well,
Absolutely.
Yeah,
His dad wants him to be a doctor. He wants to be an actor.
should've ju-
That's a
alright,
great. That's a great option.
I'll tell you a
Retake
weird.
it up.
I'll tell you a weird.
Give me
honorable
Dead
mention.
Poets Society. I the way
Dead
you guys
Poets
reacted. That's
would have been my number two. Great pick.
Throw that in there. I'll tell you a
All right.
weird one. The Tim Burton Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. His dad's a dentist. He's a chocolatier.
I truly don't
bastard.
remember that, but I'd have to go with
His
it.
dad is that British man that talks like this, and he's a dentist.
Oh, you mean the guy in Tim Burton movies?
Yep, that's the guy.
The narrator.
Oh, there's Flubber. Flubber's a big one.
I can't remember the plot of that at all.
I'm just kidding. I
don't
have
remember
no
that
idea.
Disney's Brave, Matilda.
So I thought about
in a
bringing
funny
up
way,
Brave.
Star
Pocahontas.
Wars.
What are we talking about?
Oh
here?
yeah, Star Wars a little bit of that.
Sure doesn't want to be like his dad.
Hear me out on this one. What do you think about what do you think about The Godfather? Because ultimately, Michael Corleone does choose his dad's life, but he doesn't necessarily know that he wants it. He just becomes it.
Yeah, I'll throw
His
that.
dad
want
doesn't
your
want
life.
that.
He didn't want
in
it.
a weird way, his dad doesn't want that life for him, but Michael's like, I do. I'm gonna take this. Now. I'm the Godfather. Little Mermaid for sure, right?
Sure.
She doesn't want their life so much. She wants to breathe air and walk.
You could go
Up
through
where
any
they
Disney
roam.
movie. Let us know some of your favorite I Don't Want Your Life movies. Thanks for listening to our take on Varsity Blues. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate and review. If you want more content, check out the whole Majestic Jam Network, Urban Hermit, I'm Not Crazy, and until then, we'll check you on the next one. Boing, boing.